Thanks for tuning into the Hidden Tracks podcast. You can find us wherever you find podcasts or listen to music. When you have an opportunity, please give us a 5-star review, write a little note, tell us how we're doing. We really appreciate it. It helps us keep this thing going. If you want to reach out to us, you can find us at Facebook at Hidden Tracks. Instagram is at HiddenTracks99, and if you'd like to send in submissions or talk to us or give us any feedback about what we're doing, our email is myhiddentracks99@gmail. Thank you so much again for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the show. What's up, everybody? We're here again. This week I have David Green of the awesome punk band that I'm labeling punk because you listen to it, it's punk, so I don't care if I genre label them. From the great band MOONRAKER. How you doing, David?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Well, welcome to the show. Thanks for producing the music that you do. And after a little bit of a hiatus, coming back with an awesome album called The Forest, which dropped recently. So thank you for new music. We appreciate it.
Oh, well, yeah, I appreciate that. That's great.
So, I mean, let's get into it real quick. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the formation of MOONRAKER, and then we'll get into why there was a little bit of a hiatus.
We formed the band ages ago. Like at this point, it's crazy. We started like 2011 ish, sometime around there. In like a slightly different iteration, and then like maybe 2014 is sort of like when we kind of turned into the band that we sort of are now. You know.
Yeah, and I mean, was I correct in calling it punk, pop punk?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else you would call it.
Okay, well, you know, there's so many subgenres that people want to throw themselves, or they'll just say alt rock. They'll classify it alt rock, and I'm just like, okay, now where do we go from here?
We're really more of like an art house, like expression experience kind of a thing, you know. Yeah, no, we're a punk band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and I don't know, hiatus wise, I don't know. I wouldn't have really called it a hiatus. It didn't really feel like we stopped. It just kind of felt like the world stopped around us, you know?
Yeah. Well, you did have something, a horrible thing happen to you somewhere in a foreign land. I mean, first thing that I'll let you, I mean, I'll let you tell a little bit about that story, but I mean, what were you doing there in the first place?
We were on tour with the Eradicator. We were doing like a weekend of shows, and we were in Tijuana for the listeners. We were playing a show, and the show was awesome. And we went with the promoter of the show across the street to a bar to have a drink at the bar. And it was great. It was a fun time. People were there from the show. It was honestly a great night. We were having a really good time. And then eventually we made our way back to where we had parked to find nothing parked there. So all of our gear in our vehicle had been stolen, and we were kind of stranded. And it was like, late at night, and my phone wasn't working, and my phone charger was in the car, which was now gone, like all sorts, all the worst stuff that you could think of, it was not a great feeling.
Now, I mean, you go from, as you were saying, you were having fun doing what rock stars do after a show, enjoying themselves. And you come out to this just, I mean, heart dropping moment. I mean, what did that do to you for like taking you off of that high you were just on to bringing you down so low?
Yeah, it literally was like a heart drop, like a coming down. Like I was pretty drunk, and then all of a sudden I was absolutely sober, and it was. I looked to Charlie, our friend who had booked the show, and I was like, "Is it possible that it was Toad?" And he was like, "No, they don't do that here." And I'm like, "Shit." Yeah, no, all of my possessions that like of value were in there. Like my whole my backpack with my notebook was in there, which I think might have been one of the worst parts of it. But like like all of my drums,
Yeah.
all of our gear was in there. It was and in the car, it was Nick's truck
Yeah.
gone. It was yeah, it was one of the worst experiences ever. And then the next day too is because like Nick's passport was in there. I had I don't know if it was like foresight or whatever, but like we were like getting ready to go and like we're gonna go to this bar, and I'm like, cool. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna grab my passport out of my backpack. So I put it in my pocket and I grabbed the like the money, like the tour money, and I put that. I was like, maybe that's not the best thing to leave in the car. Because like maybe someone's gonna break in. Oh wait, they'll just take the whole thing anyway. So like, yeah, I kind of thought ahead, but not really. So, but Nick's passport was gone, so we had to like, we were kind of like stressing how we were going to get back into the country a little bit, just because he had his like
Yeah.
wallet with his driver's license, but he didn't have his passport, and we weren't like right next to the border. We did have to like figure out how to get like, and also that was kind of cool too. Like, had we not been so dehydrated and so like, we were up until like 5 a.m, like in the clothes we played the show in the night before. So like, I'm like wearing like my sweaty like jeans, and like we slept in like our shoes and stuff, like Willy Wonka style, like all of us on like this one little bed, at Charlie's house. And maybe got an hour of sleep. So like we're like just tired and dehydrated and so torn down. But if it weren't for that, like walking around Tijuana, like trying to get back to the border the next day was a pretty cool experience.
All right. So from all bad, some good must come.
I
But
guess, yeah.
what did that do? What did that do for your psyche when it came to music and performing again and writing music?
It was rough. Because like I don't think it was all that. Like there was a lot of stuff kind of at play before that had happened, and that was sort of like the last Jenga piece that kind of like pushed the tower down a little bit, because it was like we had been touring the first half of that year, just kind of supporting the record that had just come out, and like when we got back from that tour, it was sort of like it had been kind of a long run, and it was kind of like we didn't really know what was going to happen next. Our friend that had been playing guitar with us had informed us he wasn't going to be playing with us anymore, and I don't know. I was just sort of feeling like at like a personal low for for a number of reasons, and then that happened. So it was sort of like, cool, let's go. We're doing this run of shows. We're fucking back on the road. This is going to be great, and maybe this will be good for me. And then, oh no, everything is gone now. So not great for the
Wow.
psyche.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you found it, because The Forest came out, and it's awesome. It brings me back to I want to say that that early '90s punk that was considered, at the time, underground. The NoFX, the Lagwagon, things like that, and it was a breath of fresh air when that came out for me, because I was a teenager back then, so I'm aging myself. But it was hearing something that is nostalgic but sounds new is one of my favorite things to find.
Oh yeah, totally.
Now, we go into certain things when it comes to our lives and music. And for me, I always harken back to my first musical memory, the first time I heard music. And then my second memory is always the first time I found my own music.
Right.
Do you have your first musical memory? Do you remember what it was when you heard some music that was just, as a small child, that automatically made you sit up?
I mean, are we talking like first memory in general, or first my memory kind of a thing? Like,
yeah, in general, yeah. Your first memory of music.
That's rough, because I don't super remember how it started, because like I mean my mom was a middle school choir director for like the majority of me growing up, so it was like there was always like her playing like piano and kind of working on stuff for that, and then like obviously like because people like talk about this all the time. Like, what was the first concert you went to? And I don't super recall because like from like a young age, I was always going to like the middle school like that she worked at's like, you know, spring concerts and like musicals. Like I don't know how many times I can like how many like middle school West Side Story performances I saw before I was like 7 years old, you know, like so many. um, so yeah, it would probably be something like that. Would have been how that kind of like started. Like I don't recall music not being around. So that sort of would have been where that started. And then like my own music would have been just like, yeah, probably Green Day. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, probably when Dookie came out would have been sort of like the bigger like, oh, okay. But like I was, you know, sort of just, you know, I was a child in Southern California, so I was sort of just like doing whatever the radio told me to do, basically.
Well, I thought they handed that out to California
Oh,
people in California
absolutely.
when it
Yeah,
came
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Yeah.
I joke with my friends all the time. It's like, hey, welcome to seventh grade orientation. Here's 6 Pennywise CDs.
Yeah,
It's like, how do
and
I have
that's, you
all
know,
of these things? I don't remember buying any of this, you know?
and you know that is, you know, for me, I'm an East Coaster. You know, the punk rock that I was into at that time was all California. It was Lookout Records, it was Fat Records, it was that whole scene up there. And it was, I remember when Dookie came out, I was either, it was a junior or senior in high school, and that came out and I was like, I'd already seen Green Day for like $9. And like Kerplunk was one of my favorite albums. And then Dookie came out. I was like, wow, this is going to change the world. And it did. And it's crazy to think that as many people as I talk to, that album is so pivotal. And I always go back to listening to that and knowing that 3 guys made that. It gave hope, and it's also like the Nirvanas of the world. It gave hope to people that, hey, this is something that I can do too.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is crazy because it is that shared thing of just like, I don't know if I know anyone like around my age who plays music that wasn't like the most important thing for, you know. It's it is this crazy shared experience. But it was, you know, it means just as much to me now. Like that, you listen to that record, it is timeless. Like it sounds not dated at all. Like not in the way that like you listen to like American Idiot, which is the other giant record that changed the world that they wrote. But like, because that is like the most polished and amazing sounding thing. Like that mix is incredible. But like that is like 2004, like like all the money in the world. Whereas like the Dookie recordings, they hold up in this weird way that like doesn't sound dated, but doesn't sound like if you didn't know it was from 1994, like it could sound like a really cool, like we're trying to sound like a raw punk band, kind of like a modern recording, you know?
Yeah. Now, when you found that, did you, and being in that California area, did you just go down that rabbit hole of just punk, or did you diversify and like go into find other styles of music other than punk?
Oh yeah, I mean, like, well, I was again like just listening to whatever the radio told me to listen to. I was, you know, like I watch so much TV, so like whatever was like cool and happening on like any kind of music related TV, like not just like MTV, but like I watched so much Comedy Central like as a child. So like back in the day, it was like I don't know, on any random day they would be playing like an 8-hour block of like 90s SNL. So like whatever like band was playing on that rerun of SNL, you know, which kind of corresponded to like whatever music video I had just seen, to like whatever I'd heard like on the radio, like on the way from school, you know, like that I was listening to everything. But I gravitated more towards like the kind of like pop punk stuff. Yeah.
Now, when did musical instruments come to play a part of your life? I mean, your mom was a choir director, and you said the word piano, and that's where many of us started our lives, and everyone wishes they continued. But what was your first instrument that
Oh
you
man.
gravitated towards?
Man, I wish that I had started with piano. Like I wish I could play. Like it's like a secret like dream of mine to just be able to sit down and like effortlessly just play on a piano like at a party or something. Just like just like not like anything cool, but just like, friends of yours that can just sit and just like play anything on a piano and it's just cool.
Yeah.
Like I absolutely cannot play piano. Like I can like kind of like get by enough now, but like it's definitely like scratching like one finger kind of like pecking out notes and stuff. Like no, I started with drums. That was I kind of just wanted to play drums, and
how old were
where
you?
I started. I was in like the third grade, like end of third grade, beginning of fourth grade. So like,
all right, so you're almost a professional.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I just didn't. Yeah.
When learning drums and then learning a musical instrument, there comes that time as a young person that you want to find other people playing music. Is that what you ran out to do? Was to, find other people that play guitar and stuff and form a band? That would play local talent shows, or how did that all progress for you?
Yeah, that's so yeah, everyone like that I know like has like the same story of like, but like everyone I know started playing guitar like a little later than I started playing drums. So like everyone was like, yeah, I was 14 and I got like that Fender Strat like pack that comes with the shitty amp, and like I just wanted to like like a lot of people like learn with their friends to form bands or whatever, but like I was like in elementary school and like none of the other 10, 11 year olds like were like around me like trying to like do anything. So yeah, I was like just taking lessons like a shitty kid for like years, and then I think when I got to junior high, that's when I met some kids that played guitar, and yeah, essentially that started kind of talent shows and stuff like that. I met this guy named Matt Battaglia when we were in seventh grade, and they did like this thing where they had like everyone introduced themselves to like our homeroom class, and he was like, "Hey, what's up? I'm Matt. I play guitar. I'm looking to start a band." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Oh, duh. Yeah, we could start bands." That like it hadn't even occurred to me really. It's like, of course that was what I wanted to do. I just never like was like, yeah, I play drums because I want to meet people and play music with them. It was just sort of like oh no, duh, you're so dumb. So when he said that, I was like, oh yeah, I should probably go talk to that guy. So I eventually like joined a band that he was starting with his friends, and that was cool.
What was the name of your first band you were in?
Oh man, we were called Chanticleer.
All right.
Yeah, we named it after. It was the main character of that movie Rockadoodle. It's like a cartoon about like this Elvis chicken that like crowed the sun up every morning. Oh, it doesn't matter.
I love how I gave you the option to move on and you went into explaining it. So hey, listen, it must have meant something.
I guess.
Do you remember your first live performance in front of strangers?
Yeah, I mean, it might have been like a thing where like I went to school with my mom, and like there were drums in like the music room that she was teaching, and like I like didn't have school that day, but she had to work, so she just kind of like brought me along with her, and like it was probably like playing drums for the class of like 13-year-olds at my mom's music classroom. It was probably something like that.
All right, you brought up earlier you don't remember your first concert and how many times you could have seen West Side Story. What was the first concert you got to pick to go to? Do you remember that one?
Ooh, that's another thing that I don't super recall that, because like when you mix in all of like the like whatever like concerts in the parks, that I got dragged to, and then like local shows that were just like bands from my town that I was going to, but that weren't like real bands, like it all kind of melds together there. Like I don't remember like the exact like first show I got tickets to see or whatever, but like I kind of was just going to shows in one form or another like the whole time. But like at some point it went from like like being taken there like it's like a weird picnic situation because it's like a summer concert series, to like, oh no, now it's like kids like 4 years older than me at like a laser tag place, and they're like playing actual shows, to like, oh no, it's like this band that I like that I'm going to. It just sort of all blends together, so I don't super recall.
Do you have a favorite show you've ever been to?
Oh man. That's that's a whole thing too. Yeah. I mean, do you have a favorite show you've been to? You know, it's like
Well,
I
it's
think
usually one of the last ones I went to.
yeah, that's what I was saying. It's
But
like, yeah,
yeah,
Jawbreaker playing Dear You meant so much to me a couple months ago, you know?
yeah.
Uh,
Listen, I flew out to Denver to see the lineup in Denver, like specifically for that. So yeah,
yeah,
that was dope as hell.
it was a good show. But that's what I'm saying. It's like all of these shows, like when you talk about like your favorite show, I think it has a lot to do with like, had you seen the band before, or was it your 13th time seeing that band? Like what was going on in your personal life? Like were they playing like a record that had just come out that you didn't really like, so they weren't playing a lot of your favorite songs, or was it just hitting, you know? So like of the thousands of shows that we've both been to, it's like I don't know if I could pick one, or if it depends on like, was my heart broken when I was at that show, or was I, you know,
Well, what ones stand out to you, like in your memory when someone talks about a concert to you? Some like certain shows got to stand out in your head.
okay,
Like
so at Fest in like, I think it was Fest 10 in 2011, like we had gone uh just to like hang out and go to, like, it was like the first time I'd been to Fest, which was like this eye-opening, like you get into the Willy Wonka chocolate factory and you just see like everywhere you look is like your favorite thing kind of a thing.
yeah.
And the Bouncing Souls and Hot Water Music had just put out that split where they covered each other's songs, and they were playing back to back at the Florida Theater, which used to be the main stage at Fest. It's since moved to Bo Diddley Plaza, but it was like, you know, like a big, you know, venue that like, you know, headliner bands would play at. And it was Bouncing Souls and Hot Water Music back to back, and they both didn't play a couple of songs that you think they would play. And then like Hot Water Music comes out, and it's like, you know, it's the 10th anniversary of Fest. Hot Water Music's from Gainesville. The room is exploding, and they like leave for their encore, and they come back on, and it's like an interspersed version of them with the Souls. So it's like Pete is playing guitar, and Chuck is not playing guitar, but like Chris Wallard's there playing. So they have two guitarists, and like Mike McDermott from the Souls is on drums, and like also Greg from the Souls is there. And they like start playing True Believers by the Bouncing Souls, but it's this weird half and half Hot Water Music Bouncing Souls thing. And then halfway through the song, they like somehow switch. So all of a sudden, like Brian from the Souls is playing bass instead of Jason from Hot Water Music. And they switched off playing like Souls and Hot Water Music songs, and they did four. So they did like True Believers, and then they did Trusty Chords, you know, by Hot Water Music. Then they did Gone by the Souls, and then they closed with Wayfarer. And it's just all chaos because like they've been switching out dudes like back and forth, and they're switching off, you know, band songs. And then I'm just looking at this room just like dumbfounded, because like the chorus of Wayfarer is just everyone in the room singing "Whoa" a bunch of times, but like now Chuck's not playing guitar, and like Greg and Chuck are like center stage, and they're both holding like the base of the mic stands like out into the crowd. And like, you know, like the band might not have been playing. I could have just heard like, you know, 700 people just singing "Whoa" for like 3 minutes, you know, and it was incredible.
Yeah, I saw Hot Water Music in March. I've seen them a bunch of times, but we have a place out here in Jersey called Crossroads, and it holds 120 people max. And it's one of those things, I don't know how they get the bands they do, but Hot Water Music, Strike Anywhere, and Be Well with like just 100 people in a small bar is.
Oh, that was like recently,
and I've
right?
seen. Yeah, that was in March. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that is, I'm like, all right, I just saw them play. I saw them play Music Hall Williamsburg, 1,200 people. And then I see them, and I'm like, no matter what they do, they always fucking bring it. And I'm just like, this is why they are who they are, and they stand the test of time. And that's why I have an entire shelf full of Hot Water Music CDs, because they just continuously pump shit out, and I'm rarely ever disappointed.
Dude, Chuck Reagan puts every fiber of his soul into whether he's like acoustic, or he's, you know, playing in Hot Water Music, or if he's like playing tambourine on somebody else's song or whatever. Like he is like giving his entire body into it. And like, I remember they played when they were doing those like Caution anniversary shows a few years ago. Like they played the record and then he came out for just the encore, just himself. And he like gave this like speech that really like hit me in my bones. It was like very much like, like this is for everyone, like who creates anything. It's not just musicians, like whether you're a photographer, whether you, write, short stories, whether you, do, if you create any kind of art, like, that matters, more than you think it does. And then he like goes in and he's just playing by himself, with his electric guitar. And then the band comes out and like, he is such a good performer. But then now that Chris Cresswell is in the band, like kind of injecting that like youthful fire into these guys, it's just unstoppable. Yeah. And then it's just like, oh yeah, the two best singers in punk rock are now in this band together. It's ridiculous.
It's kind of unfair, as I say when I watch bands like that. I'm like, it's unfair that they can do that. Like it really is one of those things where I'm like, it's not fair to other bands.
Oh, absolutely not. But it makes so much sense. Like if you needed a guitarist for your band and you had Chris Cresswell's like number, like wouldn't you want to like get him in your band? Like duh, of course, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and listen, you mentioned Fest. You guys will be at Fest again this year, which is awesome. Saw that.
I'm so stoked. Yeah, it's cannot wait. That lineup is insane.
Every year it's insane. It's one of those things with all these festivals that go on that is like that you don't want to miss, and at the same time it's always, in my head I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll go. I'll save up and go, and then another one comes up like, shit, I want to go to that one too. And it's like just trying to figure out to pick and choose in life is so hard. And
yeah.
When you get opportunities like that to go play Fest, I mean, what does that do for you guys in the band, and just having that moment to be like, hey, we're going to Fest again and play?
It's honestly an honor. Like I saw these Fest flyers, like before like I even went as a fan, like you see these coming up, and like, I live in, LA County, like, so the furthest from Gainesville, I know there's like a lot of Australians that go to Fest. So like, obviously I don't live the furthest of anyone that goes to Fest, but like, it just didn't even seem possible, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, adults can buy plane tickets to go to anything they want, and it was just like, why wouldn't I go to this, and then, so of course I'm going to go to Fest. And then we wanted so hard to play for years, like whether it was like me and Nick filled in for our friends in Not Half Bad a few years ago. And that was incredible. And like, just to be able to be there playing and to finally be able to play as us, as Moonraker was so cool. Like when we got that email, and then of course that Fest ended up not happening because it was 2020, but but last year,
what happened? Something happened in 2020.
A couple things happened.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was like even like in 2019, like after all of our stuff got stolen, that was like the whole thing where it's like, man, I have no gear, and I'm not like a person that just has money to just immediately buy my gear back that got stolen. So it's like, I really should be.
Oh, you're not?
Yeah.
If you're not that guy. Well, listen, we're gonna have to end the show right now. I thought I was talking to a rich drummer.
I know. I know. I come off like this big shot, but I don't know. Like people have like real jobs and like could just like.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, of course I could buy that. Not me. So I was trying to save up, for a drum set because I'd also never bought like a whole everything at once. It was like, okay, I had gotten the drums, but I already had all like the stands and the pedal that I had, and like, but now I got to buy cymbals and drums and hardware and cases like all at the same time. And it was racking up. So I was just like, I don't know, should I go to Fest? Should I spend the money on the plane ticket and on the ticket to the show? And like, no, I'm going to be happier if I go. I think ultimately if I go to Fest, like I will be less sad than if I don't go to the Fest and like see everyone having a good time. So yeah, the Fest means so much to me.
That's awesome. I'm still up in the air of what Fest I'm going to go to in the fall. So getting back to to the band Moonraker. If no one ever heard your music and you had to play them one song that you guys have that would best describe you, what song would you play for them? If a complete stranger came up to you and said, "Oh, you're in a band, play me a song," what song would you play for them?
I might play him a song called "To the Gills." I think that's sort of like a mission statement-y song of ours. It's from Lanterns. It's a very like fist in the air kind of like kind of telling you who we are kind of a thing. It's yeah. I think that's like a good example of what we sound like. But like probably like if I had to pick one song, maybe that. But like I don't know. It's so new with the new record. But like I think of the new record as one entity. You know, it's like hard to like pick what song. Maybe Crickets from the new record also. But like I think the forest is its own animal. You know.
Yeah, well, so if you played that for, do you have a favorite song that you released? Would you say "To the Gills" or "Crickets" is your favorite song you've released, or is there a song that you would say this is my favorite song that we've written over the years and released that isn't either
Wow.
one of those?
It's it's kind of tough that way. Like talking about shows, like about like, oh, it's probably the last one I went to. So it's every time like we write like a new song, that one feels like it's my favorite one. So like maybe Soot, the last song on the record, but yeah, I would say maybe Soot, maybe Autumn from the new record, maybe Mouthful of Rust, which was one of the singles we put out. Like I think that one might be pretty close. Yeah, I like that one quite a bit.
All right. Now we talked a lot about a vehicle earlier, but there's a moment in your life that's pretty important, and it's the day you get your driver's license. And
Yes.
when you get your driver's license, you go to pick up a friend or a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it may be. What was blasting on your radio when you went to pick up that friend when you got your driver's license?
Man, it would have for sure been some sort of Bad Religion CD. like like I yeah, there was for sure a moment where like I remember being in high school and like I was going to lunch with like one of my friends and like we got in the car and like I turned it on and he's like, "Why are you only ever listening to Bad Religion?" And I'm like, "Because man, that's what's going on in my car. If you want to drive, we can listen to not Bad Religion, you know." But it was probably Recipe for Hate if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, probably Recipe for Hate or maybe Process of Belief. Yeah.
Nice. Recipe for Hate, great album. I'm more of an Against the Grain guy, but hey, all good.
Again, you can't make me choose, man.
Yeah.
That band is incredible.
Still doing it. I mean, I still have their first album on tape that I got, like read in a tape store because I didn't have enough money for CDs at the time, and that was one of my things as a young kid. And I was like, "All right, I'm buying this," and I still have it. So I'm very
Awesome.
proud to still own that. It doesn't play great, but
No,
I still have it.
no, I wouldn't think not. But yeah, no, there, yeah, I was, yeah, it was for sure a Bad Religion record of some sort was being played in my car when I was going to pick up that friend. Probably wasn't a girlfriend if I'm remembering Teenage Me correctly. Probably wasn't a girlfriend.
So, Bad Religion, is there a band in your life that like has never let you down? And I know it's hard, especially with bands that continue to keep going 40 years into it and continue to make music, but maybe a band that doesn't make music that you always go back to listen to no matter what mood you're in. Like it's just a band that never lets you down and is always there for you.
Yeah, I think American Steel is they don't get enough credit for being so solid and just so good. And they have like a limited catalog, but like all of their records are so different, but like so the same. And like they just strike such a chord. Like even Jagged Thoughts, which is a masterpiece, you know, like is obviously the outlier in the catalog, but like that band is just so underappreciated. And I feel like that's like the vibe that I resonate with so much. Is just like this band that like should be way bigger, but like they don't really give a shit. They're here to like to really make you feel something because you're the one looking at them. Doesn't matter who's not looking at them, you know. So I all of any of their records are always like a go to if I'm not doing well, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's one of the biggest things, especially for music lovers like yourself and I. When there's bands that I'll go with the word adore, bands that you just love and adore, that you're just like, how do people not know about them? You know, it's kind of a little bit of our mission statement here. It's like, how have you not heard of this band? They're fucking great.
Yeah.
People got to listen to them.
Exactly. That's like, I mean, I've always been like a walking billboard for the stuff I like. Like, I don't think I own shirts that aren't like band shirts, or like I always have like 1,000 pins or stickers on whatever backpack or, you know, anything I have, you know, like it's always just like, well, yeah, if you don't know, you're going to fucking know, you know?
Yeah.
But
Well, that was
yeah,
the internet back in the day. The pins were the internet. It was, you know, you saw someone's patches or pins and you were like, oh, who's that band? Who's that band? And then you would be able to go to your local record store and find out who they are. And you know, I think that was one of the coolest things of the community of music. I mean, it's still there, but now you have the internet to search for stuff. But that was just like, you see somebody at the same show you're at, so you know you have the same taste, right? And then you would see their patches or a t-shirt that they're wearing that you've never heard of that band before, and that just made you go find it.
exactly. Or like if, you know, for some reason someone you think is cool happens to be wearing a shirt that you also own, it just is like instant, like, I'm 10 feet tall right now, you know?
I haven't met anyone cooler than me to care about what, you know.
That's true. Exactly.
Wearing,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one could possibly be as cool as me.
No, I mean, they're always staring at me being like, oh, he has the same shirt as me.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have a band that never lets you down, like American Steel. Is there a band or some type of music in your life that you listen to that people would be really surprised you get tons of enjoyment out of?
I am,
You know, something that you'd be bashful.
I am so into the Ben Folds 5. Like I think that I mean, really anything Ben Folds does, but specifically Ben Folds 5.
He's literally staring at me. He's staring at me right now, giving me the finger. I have his
awesome.
poster that I've seen. Yeah. And he's staring at me in the studio, giving me the finger right now. So I'm right there with you. I have my Ben Folds story. Great little story.
I would love to hear it. I would love to hear this story.
So this is 1990. It is the day before New Year's, 1995. Yeah, 1995. I'm in Savannah, Georgia, going to party with my friends. Turns out I can't buy beer. Meet three cool guys at this shitty motel that we're at that offered to go over to the Piggly Wiggly and buy beer.
No.
They said
no.
They said, so what are you guys doing? And we're like, well, we all have shaved heads. We're not skinheads. We're in the military. We just, you know, have the day off tomorrow. So came into town to party it up. Like, oh, we're playing a show right around the corner. Why don't you guys come? Lo and behold, it's Ben Folds.
That's crazy. That's so cool. Man, yeah,
it was one of those moments where, and I didn't even know who he was at that time. Like, I didn't know, you know, they weren't popular. They were still, you know, just finished college and trying to make.
Have been, that first record probably wasn't even out yet. If it was 95.
And I was just, and we saw him. I was like, yeah, they're okay. I'm like, I can't believe like dude's got a stand up bass and guys playing a piano. I'm like, yeah, they're okay. And because I was still in my punk rock roots and, you know, liked what I liked and wasn't broadening my horizons. And then all of a sudden they blew up and see a music video when I get back the next year from Kuwait. And I was like, wait a minute. Those motherfuckers bought us beer at Piggly Wiggly.
That's so cool. But they're not punk. Like the way that he plays piano is like he is like a classical like pianist, but he also is like throwing a drum throne at the piano and like standing up and stomping on the keys. Like he's pretty punk about it, you know?
Yes. And I mean, but at that time, it was for me. I never. The last time I saw a piano was my sister and I went to see Elton John and Billy Joel at Giant Stadium when they did a tour, and I think it was 89 in the 90s or late 80s, early 90s. I went, but like that's what I thought of piano music. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So that
Yeah,
wasn't,
totally.
yeah, or Motley Crue's, Home Sweet Home or something.
Right. Yeah, there's just something about it. The way there's no guitar in that band, but sometimes you don't notice. It's just they are electric. The three of those guys together.
Yeah, nice, a nice little Ben Folds moment we had there.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, what's the last song you cried to?
Oh man. Um, what would it have been? I'm trying to think because it might have been Matilda, that Pup song about his guitar. Do you know that on the new Pup record?
No,
Oh man,
I'm gonna write it down to see if I cry now.
Yeah, it's on the Unraveling of Pup the Band. It just came out. It's this like sad song told from the perspective of his old guitar about how he doesn't play it anymore and like how it just kind of sits in the corner and watches him, go about his day. Like, but it was like everything he ever wanted when he got it. It's pretty amazing.
I mean, I'm glad we're only doing this without video because I may have just shed a tear on that.
Exactly. It's a very good premise. Yeah, it's a very good premise. It's like Toy Story, it's this guitar that used to be this guy's world, just watching him kind of like, not give a shit anymore. It's incredible.
Now, do you have a moment, that you remember on tour that where, everything wasn't stolen and your life ruined, but a soundtrack to a tour that you just had so much fun on that you can just remember yourselves with the windows down, picture you with the guys in the van, and what's blasting on the radio?
It would probably be On the Impossible Pass by the Menzingers. Like that, when that record came out, like that's sort of like right when we were like starting to like actually tour, like for like, weeks and months. And like that was a record that I like can like remember every single note of, like that was a big one. And like as a joke, probably a bunch of dumb Offspring songs that we ran into the ground to like, to play. We were doing a bit every time we would like cross a state line. It's like, we're going to play Hit That by the Offspring, which obviously spiraled to do a bunch of other things. But yeah, probably On the Impossible Pass by the Menzingers.
All right. You talk about a band making up for lost time. I mean, fucking touring. Jesus. I can't, you can't possibly keep up with them. I saw them like 3 times in a row, 3 separate places, New York, New Jersey. And it was just like every day you see, oh, we just booked a new, 20-date tour, a new 20. I'm like, all right, guys, slow down.
Exactly, because it was like one-off headliners, and they were on tour with like the Descendants and Rise Against, and then they were just doing another one, and now they're doing the 10-year On the Impossible Pass tour. Like they hit the ground running as soon as like the gates were up,
Yeah. All right, 5 minutes left to live. Meteors crashing into the earth. You have to listen to one song. What song would you listen to?
Oh no! Ooh, one song. Geez, on the spot there. Maybe Lean on Sheena by the Bouncing Souls.
Ah, Bouncing Souls. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that song's perfect. I know they didn't write it. I know it's a cover, but it's their song. It's the way that, I Will Always Love You. That's Whitney's song. That's not Dolly's song anymore,
Yeah, she wrote that and Jolene and same day.
Yeah. Crazy night for Dolly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I quite love Lean on Sheena. I think it's an incredible song. I think that version is probably the definitive version of it, but on the spot right now, yeah, probably Lean on Sheena.
All right. Well, Lean on Sheena. Okay. So going through this, you're a Bouncing Souls fan, and behind me I have the Bouncing Souls poster up too from Asbury. That was another summer thing.
Awesome.
That's so hard to get to nowadays with all this stuff going on. What do you have? Do you have any shows that you're going to that you're looking forward to that you're not playing?
Yeah, I am very excited for the Gaslight Anthems comeback shows. They in September they're playing at the Palladium in LA, and I am really stoked. I can't believe that they're back.
Yeah, I'm hoping for good things.
Me too. I realized like recently I was like I cannot believe it's been 8 years since the last time I saw them. But yeah, 8 years it would have been right when Get Hurt came out would have been the last time I saw them. And yeah, I can't believe they're back. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm hoping for good things to come from it. So, fingers crossed.
Yes.
Now, do you have a show that you're playing besides the fest that you're looking forward to playing?
Oh yeah, we're in a few days. Next week, where we're getting on the plane, we're going over to England for the Booze Cruise Festival in Bristol. So I'm pretty excited about that. That's I've never been to Europe before, so that'll be an experience. Like, I'm excited to get on a train and get like a pint of cider and just really see what's going on.
Nice. Well, enjoy that time over there.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Well, I don't want to keep you forever today. So right now I'd like to, before we move on into one of our final segments, I'd like to give you this opportunity now to let everybody know, how to find what Moonraker's doing, how to get your stuff. I mean, well, no one can really get your stuff right now because it's all sold out. So congrats on that. That's
Thanks,
fucking awesome.
Yeah. It's been going pretty cool so far. So that's really cool. Yeah, you can check us out. Moonraker.bandcamp.com is like a good hub for everything. We're Moonraker Punks, PUNX, on all of the different social media sites. So yeah, if you go to like the Instagram or to the Facebook or to the Twitter, like they'll all kind of link in circles to each other, but that'll take you to the Bandcamp where you can get the record. The record's on Spotify and Apple Music and everything else. It's called The Forest. It is it's a deeply personal record that we're all very, very proud of, and yeah, we love it. We'd love if you gave it a shot. So yeah, you could check that stuff out. If you want to get a copy of the vinyl, we're running low on a lot of the variants. You could check out Tiny Dragon Music or Bipolar Records. They might have some stuff left over. Or you can get a copy on black, which we also have. But if you're looking for like the cool variants, supplies are low. But yeah, that's us.
Yeah. Well, listen, that there's nothing more I love to see than a good band that's becoming who you are and continuing to do what you do, and for something to just come out and to see stuff and to see and go on Bandcamp and see everything sold out is like, that to me is just an awesome thing to see for a band, like, because that's how you get by. That's how you move on. That's how you grow, is be able to sell the merch that you're making. And that's what we implore people to. Yeah, you can listen to shit on Spotify, but that 0.00018 cent that is provided for every time you listen to a song does absolutely nothing for an artist. So please support them by buying their merch. If you like the band, please do it, because it is extremely important to keep these bands moving forward so you can bless us with more music like The Forest coming.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. That's all true. Also, artists are vain. So if you want to help out an artist, if you literally just give them a compliment, that'll help them out a lot too. You give me a high five and I don't know you, and you say, "Hey man, I really like the record." Like, yeah, I'm the shit that day,
Well, I hope it happens often because you deserve it. So
thank you.
Well, we're coming into our final segment. It is our segment of our weekly threes. So you can pull up your Bandcamp, your Spotify, your Apple Music, whatever you're listening to music from, and give us 3 things that you're listening to right now that you'd like people to check out.
Okay. So I'm really into Wet Leg right now. Do you know Wet Leg?
No, but
They're
I'm
really
noting it down.
cool. They're from England. It's these two girls, and they just, it's really cool. It's very like kind of like low key kind of indie rock, and super cool. They just put out a record. So into it. They're very cool. Wet Leg. This band called Cold Years. Do you know them?
No, I'm learning a lot right now.
Yeah, my friend Jed turned me on to them recently. They're from Scotland, and they kind of sound like peak theatrical Green Day. You know, like just really like
Cold Years, huh?
Yeah, they're really cool. They have
And
a record.
I'm a Scottish whore when it comes to music. If it comes from Scotland, I'm like, yeah, just give it to me. I'll listen to it.
Dude, check them out. Yeah, their record's called Goodbye to Misery. It's great. It's a very, very good record. So yeah, I'm liking that. And then Gainesville, Florida, by Less Than Jake. I've been getting really back into that record from 2009. I know it's not a recent one, but it's a sleeper in the catalog.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be recent. It's whatever you're listening to that you'd want people to listen to.
I think people should go check out this record by Less Than Jake, this upstart band from Florida from 2009.
Yeah,
it's really cool. It's
newer band. It's their first album. Yeah,
these whippersnappers, they got some moxie. These guys, they're gonna do things. No, it's a really good record. It's
someone
good.
will hear about them.
Yeah, no, but people like love to talk about the earlier stuff or like the big major label stuff. But that is a solid as fuck album. It's got crazy good songs, crazy good lyrics, and not a lot of love in the live set, but it's good. It's a good record.
Nice, good 3. Nice. All right, my 3 for this week, everyone, is in no particular order. As always, the first band is called Back Garden Light. Their album it's a self-titled album. They are a French pop punk easycore band. So if you can deal with a little bit of an accent with his English vocals, really fucking good. Number 2 is a band called Forest Green, Michigan emo band. The name of the album is In Waves. And last but not least, this is a New York post-hardcore band called Stay Inside, and the album is called Viewing. Those are the 3 things I'm listening to this week. So check them out.
Awesome.
But David, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for what you do with MOONRAKER. We appreciate all the listening pleasure you provide our ears with your music. So thank you for that. We really appreciate it. And we look forward to some awesome things. And we hope you have a safe trip. And maybe I will see you at Fest this year once I figure out which festival I will be spending my money on.
Well, yeah, man. Thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun, and yeah, I hope to see you. And if I don't see you, I hope that whatever your choice was the best choice.
Yeah, as long as music's playing, it will be a good choice. So
that's the way
I look at it.
That's right.
But thank you again, and everyone. You know what your job is to do next. You're gonna go out, you listen to MOONRAKER, and have a great fucking time.
A scuba suit, held my breath for like a year and a half. Now I'm drowning in the corner of your living room. Couldn't swim my way out of a paper bag. Locked my secrets in a shiny silver briefcase and cuffed that heavy bastard to my wrist. All the words I wanna say are innocence at the bottom of a lake. I can't escape in time to finish the trip. Everyone's already at the lifeboats, and I've still putting rounds into my boat.
Thanks again for tuning into the Hidden Tracks podcast. We hope you enjoyed this week's show. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at HiddenTracks99. Also, send all your submissions myhiddentracks99@gmail.com. Tune in next week. You may find your new favorite band, and don't forget to go out and have a great fucking time.